After the interception, here's Watson. Flushed out right. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down.
And we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
Then finds Randall Cobb on the completion. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision. And receive.
Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And the Vikings pick up the football. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. And they'll bring him down right around the 13. It's a gain of 5 on the play. And all of a sudden here, it's third down. On play action, Wentz gets it to Gordon. Hit with a lot of force and spun down right there around the 35-yard line. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Now Gordon on first down. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason, it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film. Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. They do go for it. It's Wentz. It's complete to Brown, right side. But they're going to wrap him up as he'll go down well short of a first. A surprising move to go for it, predictably, at least somewhat predictably. It doesn't pay off, and that will force a turnover on downs. Really nice starting field position here for the offensive unit. Now a play fake here on first down. Powerful running, escaping the pressure right. Looking deep for Demarius. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. It gets him over the middle to Cobb. Touchdown, L.A. Randall Cobb, 40 yards. And the Rams are going to take a first-quarter lead.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
It's up, it's good, and the Rams take a 7-0 lead. Back live now to begin the second quarter with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's the Rams with a football to get us going, as we'll see one following the score on the final play before break. Here's Bosher to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he is knocked down from the side at the 24-yard line. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. Possible run anticipation. Here's the D-line sandwiches together. Here's Gordon. Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. Now Wentz throwing on second down. And the Rams got it. They bring him down. Linval Joseph coming up the middle, gets him there for a loss of about 9. On play action, it's Wentz. And this one caught by Dez Bryant. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And now the Rams have got it going the other way. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free. Anything you can do to slow them down.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Then he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
They run it again with Kamara. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10 to the 7. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the...
And it's complete. He's got it in the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Randall Cobb with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Rams add on to their lead. Now Sturgis on to add the extra point. Nothing. Here's Bosher to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. And now out comes Minnesota. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Wentz to throw on second down. And Rudolph has it left side. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. First down now, but the clock continues to move.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. Back to the air on second down. Wentz. And he comes back with one complete. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been looking for Fitzgerald, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They put it.
Trying to get it to Cobb, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the safety, Reggie Nelson. That's an experienced DB picking off a rookie, and you know sometimes going against the young pups, don't they?
And I go back to the offseason, had a quick conversation with him about, hey, when you play younger quarterbacks, what's it like for you? And he says it's like being a boxer. I give him a lot of different angles, a lot of different looks, and a lot of times I just bait the young guy.
And there he baited him right into the interception. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
No gain on that run, and while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe you just have to think about different style of running in order to get this guy going.
And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Now Gordon. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. The gain of 5 that time gives him the conversion and makes it 1st and goal. They fake the give. Now Wentz. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Dez Bryant as the first half is winding down. And the Vikings are able to make this a close game again. And he'll bang that one through. Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he's got some space here. In the final seconds of the first half. And the Rams add on to their lead. Such an electric play. So 11 guys in sync for that to be successful, don't you?
Without a doubt. That's teamwork, to be able to put it all together. But that play is really probably the most exciting 10 seconds in football.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. And now out comes Minnesota. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Forced out to his left. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. So we've come to halftime. It's the visiting Rams taking the lead to the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando as we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports halftime report. Larry, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Now the Rams offense, they work their way back on the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Now a first down throw, Watson. Over the middle, it's Thomas. And he's brought down. 12 yards there as they move the chains. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Faking the give. Now Watson. And this is taken in at the zone. Touchdown, Rams. Larry Fitzgerald, 36 yards. And the Rams add on to their lead. And he's got it up and through. Here's Bosher to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything to a receiver quicker.
5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. And they're going to go soft on the corners. Now Wentz. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. That throw good for 4. It's second down. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his second catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top.
Touchdown, Vikings! Kyle Rudolph, 30 yards. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit. That's the score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Watson off play action. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Randall Cobb, the intended receiver, and it's second down. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, look, credit to the defense for shutting them down on that.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Jason Pierre-Paul in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Going to need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? They'll run it now out of the gun. They find some open field here. He's got the lane, and there he goes. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. A great effort there. Taking it in. And the Rams add on to their lead. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up. Time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he is hit pretty hard from the side as he's knocked down. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Here's Wentz to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. They get 7 there on the screen. It'll set up a third down. Wentz going to try and throw on third. He gets it to Brown, complete. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. Back now in Nashville. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Throwing on first is Wentz. Bryant with a catch right side. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. They're giving those short little routes. Tackled him in bounds, too. They're just not wanting to get beat over the top.
Yeah, and if you can't really get downfield.
Now a loose football. The ball comes out. And now the Rams have got it, going the other way. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Fourth quarter, you've got the lead. You have to stay in bounds and run that clock. Coaches, that'll drive them crazy.
Sacrifice a yard or two if you have to. Just go down, in bounds, keep that clock going. It's almost like he was caring more about his fantasy stats than it was about winning the game. And that has to drive a coach crazy.
And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3. And in this situation with a lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
It's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
This is caught, and he's going to take this one.
Always hating, said I never make it. I heard he's always talking with them. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. Yeah. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. Yeah. I heard he's mad at me cause I'm getting money. I heard he's mad at me cause he's on me. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. Yeah. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. Yeah. I heard he's mad at me cause I'm shining. They ain't seen it when I'm young, out here grinding. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay, yeah. Either way, young, getting paid, yeah. I heard he's mad at me cause I'm poppin'. They don't wanna put some money in my pockets. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay, yeah. Either way, a hater always gonna hate, yeah. Mad at me cause I'm tryna feed my I'm supposed to make it out and I don't bring my No way, no way, no way, yeah. They ones and they here to stay, yeah. I heard he's always hating, said I never make it. I heard he's always talking with them. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay, yeah. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay, yeah. I heard he's mad at me cause I'm getting money. I heard he's mad at me cause he's on me. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay, yeah. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay, yeah.
I heard he tryna lie me, but I ain't no dummy. It's okay though, got it, you really want it. I spent 13 on the ring and now I feel unlucky. Hey, she love my diamond ring, she said she wanna touch it. It's okay, I get 30K just to hit the stage. Sip hit my Michael in my Michael J. I get cake, I cannot complain. Been finessing since I was a kid in the 2nd grade, selling lemonade. Get paid, hold up, wait, can I get paid? Yawn in a break, feel like I'm in space. See a snake, kill a snake, get paid. Get left every day, so get your straight.
I heard these always hating, said I never make it. I heard these always talking with them. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. I heard he's mad at me cause I'm getting money. I heard he's mad at me cause he's on me. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. Mad cause I'm trying to feed my family. Why I gotta watch a friend more than an enemy? I had to stun on the that I'm supposed to stunt with. Had to cut you off, you was on some dun. You was supposed to be my dog, why you hate on me? They say success turn your friends to some enemies. Hey, it's crazy, cause it's shining, now you act shady. Yeah, but I guess it's okay. My mama told me you would show me your ways. Yeah, but I gotta check on him. I had the bands. Pull up in the land. Diamonds on me look like Ernie. He's always hating, said I never make it. I heard he's always talking with them. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. I heard he's mad at me cause I'm getting money. I heard he's mad at me cause he's on me. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay.
Yeah. Young Gerald. Yeah. Die line with the boom pow. Every week now I switch to a new style. 212s in the back just blew out. Everything I do end up in the news now. Yeah. Lead the club with a few now. Just and they do. I'm in the mood now. 2 a.m. What you wanna do now? What you wanna do now? Little baby pass. Don't spill on me, that's Margella. Got this Oakland game to tell her. She look familiar. Coachella, what's her name? Isabella, forget it, yeah. It's like a week ago, but we both know how weekends go. Tryna function, got some places we could go. Lot y'all got me speaking slow like, yeah, I'm blessed. I don't GA. You tryna, yes on yes. Say less. Say less. You ain't go. Say less. Yeah. Say less. Hey girl, what it do? If you got friends, cool, bring a few through. No fun if the homies man. R.I.P. Nate Dogg, this too true. And you know what I'm down for. Round 2, round 3, and a round 4. Mood switch when she knocked at the front door. Next up was the uproar. Yeah, was like a week ago, but we both know how weekends go. Tryna tuck off, got some places we could go. Swear she got the like wow, she's blessed, I'm blessed. I don't GA. You tryna yes on yes. Say less. Say less. You ain't go. Say less.
Sheesh. What you saying? I don't understand. I'm out my mind. I popped. Sheesh. I swear this lock shot got me stuttering. Girl, you so fine, I fall in love again. Sheesh. Get it. My favorite rush. You talkative, ain't gotta say too much. Be quiet. Who got some grapes? I'm trying to. I'm all going for these. Get it. Not complicated. No conversation. Get it. Not complicated. No conversation. Please say less. Please say less. Please say less.
I'm blessed. I don't GA. You tryna yes on yes. Say less. Say less. You ain't go. Say less. Say less. You ain't know. Say less.
Montana.
You know, I'm like, yeah, nice P, you know?
What up, Pink?
Man.
La música de Harry Fraud.
When I pull up, they notice me. Come and talk to me like Jodeci. But don't you be too close to me. Them goons you see, let it go for me. I bring them things, I bring them things. I call them, he bring them things. Mucho, I bring them things. Looking so expensive, rings and things. I bring them things. I bring them things. I bring them things.
Man, you don't want with them, bro. Oh, you, and it better get low. Rainbow, $1,000, this ain't your cloth. You ain't, that ain't no sauce. I can see the noodles made for poodles. I'm thinking about the LaFerrari coupe. 1.8, the option is the roof. Greens is a secret to the youth. Your goals are malnourished. Please spit the juice. Y'all be vaping, I be laden. Yes, y'all be aping. I'm Richard Mill Nation. No diamonds, just tourbillon facing with gears and sprockets with the sapphire casing.
When I pull up, they notice me. Come and talk to me like Jodeci. But don't you be too close to me. Them goons you see, let it go for me. I bring them things, I bring them things. I call them, he bring them things. Mucho, I bring them things. Looking so expensive, rings and things. I bring them things. I bring them things. I bring them things.
Here's a little story about a kid from Morocco. Had to show Carlito I was Benny Blanco. Check it out. Raindrop, offset. Plug, we the outlet. Shot put me in the box. I'm in the box office. All the face shorty, socks off. Mac Miller, Reggie Miller, the killer, Canaries, Back Stiller, White Villa.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. We've got a good one on tap today, and there's going to be two quarterbacks ready to get it done on the gridiron. It's Keenan Vikings going up against Ryan's Falcons.
All right, Larry, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. We thought the old place was loud. Somehow this place got even louder a short time ago as the Falcons were introduced to this sellout crowd. We're set to go as the Falcons get ready to match up with the Minnesota Vikings. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20. As his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Off play action. Keenum. The throw left side complete to Treadwell. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 14 yards there on the first play from scrimmage.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag. Because when you do, you just put the ball on it and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. A gain of 6 there on first. Now a first carry for Latavius Murray. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
He'll try and run with Murray. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. It'll be a 2-yard gain. And on 4th down, they're able to convert and move the sticks. On 1st down, Keenum. Over the middle, complete. It's Bell. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Now a play fake, and it's Keenum. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. He got 29 yards that time. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Again, it's Murray. And it's still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
He may try and run for this. The keeper nets him only a yard, and that's going to bring up 4th.
We've seen this offense go for it on 4th down already on this drive. I wonder if they'll go for it again.
They certainly wouldn't rule it out with these guys. And Forbath will put this one through, and the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. And that field goal caps an 11-play drive.
It's a lot of offense to run to only get 3 points, but they'll take them. Anytime you can put anything on the board, you run to your sideline somewhat happy.
Andre Roberts now to return it. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. So nothing there, but maybe you blame that on the blocking.
Yeah, at some point, you've got to win at the point of attack. And on that play, that was all the defense. They made it happen.
On 2nd down, Freeman. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Anthony Barr got a real education at UCLA in playing not just his normal position of stand-up outside linebacker, but down defensive end. So he had to incorporate a variety of moves, take on bigger people. So he learned great leverage while he was there. That really helps him when he's trying to stop people running the ball.
Born in South Bend, Indiana. Thought about going back to go to Notre Dame, but you're right. Great career at UCLA and now a great career in the NFL.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
The punter Bosher on now as he gets this one away. Here's Sherrills. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. I want to give a hat tip real quick, Charles, to J.J. Watt before the possession switches here. Walter Payton, NFL Man of the Year. They totaled up how much he helped raise for hurricane relief, $37 million.
Incredible. Hurricane Harvey, which really hit the Houston area in a big way, and his original goal was $200,000. So congratulations to J.J. Watt and all the people who participated. And Greg Olsen of the Panthers, Benjamin Watson of the Ravens, both tight ends, also nominated and finalists for the most prestigious award as determined by the NFL, the Walter Payton Man of the Year award.
That was 2nd down, 1 for Murray. And unable to get about the 37. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
I better raise my voice a little bit here because one thing we can already tell, even in the first year in the league with this new stadium, it's going to get loud in this place.
Yeah, the old place was loud, but I think we're getting a sense that this place is going to be louder.
Yeah, they're riding that momentum of that 2016 team that finished their year in the Super Bowl.
They will go for it. It's Keenum. Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Ricardo Allen with a pick, and he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. So the football switching hands here in just a second. And, you know, Tom Brady, just to go off on a tangent for a second, may have lost the Super Bowl, but 3rd MVP this past season, and what he did at age 40, really something, right, Charles?
Absolutely phenomenal. Ended up beating out Todd Gurley, the running back for the Los Angeles Rams. But he would have traded it for a Super Bowl win, don't you think? How about this? The last 9 NFL MVPs to play in the Super Bowl that same season, 0-9.
Yeah.
You go all the way back to Kurt Warner, what, 1999?
99.
Double?
We were going over that stat earlier. That is hard to believe.
But he would have been the MVP had the Patriots pulled that one out.
Yeah, he still has 5 rings, though. 5 Super Bowl titles for Brady. They run. Devontae Freeman. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 5-yard pickup that time on what will wind up being the final play of this first quarter. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2. They've got a 2nd down at 5 here to start things out. From the gun, it's Ryan. And he's got his star receiver. It's Jones for the Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones from 6 yards away. And the Falcons are in for 6. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. Here's Bosher to kick it away. It's a short kick, taking it to 15. And some space here. And it will not be a return touchdown, as close as he could possibly get. He's finally stopped at the 1. Vikings coming out here again to take over on offense. And this is a crew, obviously, that was so close, Charles, to becoming the first ever team to play a Super Bowl in their own stadium. So disappointment in that last game against Philly, but overall, I think they've got to be pretty pleased with the season.
They have to be, because they put it all together. Won the NFC North. How about that win over the Saints in the divisional round? I mean, I don't know that they'll ever top that in terms of getting something done late in the game, especially with what was on the line. They do get Dalvin Cook back at running back next year. I think they'd still like to have a little more speed at wide receiver. But all in all, this team comes back pretty well intact and will be a force for a while.
Yeah, that defense is pretty set.
Very much so. I mean, try and move the ball against their front and then try and throw it against Xavier Rhodes. Good luck to you. Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the second quarter, it has been a struggle. Good contain, no gain on the screen, and it'll bring up 4th down. And Forbath will put this one through, and they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. The offense got the ball in a good spot, but they went nowhere. They settled for 3.
Brandon, I think it's safe to say that was a major disappointment. Had a great opportunity, excellent field position, and did not be able to move the ball at all. Big-time letdown.
And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Falcons taking over on offense in just a second, and, you know, this year ended in disappointing fashion now. Last year was the ultimate version of heartbreak. But if you're a Falcon fan, this one was tough to swallow as well, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because let's be honest about it. losing in the Super Bowl, I don't care how you lose, you were in the Super Bowl. You were playing for it all. This team was supposed to be as good or better. Ultimately ended up 10-6, found their way in the playoffs, but didn't get the deep run as they had the year before. So you're exactly right. For Falcons fans, that's a tough one. But this is a team that's built.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Linval Joseph. He's the one that gets him down. It'll be a loss of 5, and it'll bring up 4th down. They'll indeed go for it with Ryan. And this is incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And now the football's going to go over, already being placed at the 15-yard line. Before the offense changes hands here, let's look back to the Super Bowl February 5th. What a game. I know you were there calling it offensively, though. Impressive on both sides.
It certainly was, and let's face it, if you're in Minnesota, it's cold outside, but you talk about the offenses.
Murray fighting, lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get them home. The next guy comes through and picks them up.
And avoids the turnover. They'll try to run it in with Murray. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, add that play to his resume reel because he went to the Pro Bowl last year. That's how you go to the Pro Bowl. You make plays like that, big-time penetration, and throw people for losses.
On 2nd down, here's Keenum. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Adam Thielen from 4 yards out. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. But before the possession switches here, I had written down that I wanted to talk about some of the awards this past season in the NFL. We know Brady was the MVP, but Todd Gurley, Offensive Player of the Year.
How about that for a bounce back? Many were questioning whether he'd had a sophomore slump the season before. Didn't even get to 1,000 yards. Was a dominant force in 2017. How about his teammate Aaron Donald on the defensive side? He took home Defensive Player of the Year award.
Yeah, very impressive. They had both sides of the ball. Sean McVay deserving, I think you would agree, of Coach of the Year.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, what he did for the Rams when they went from last in the league in scoring to leading the league in scoring and winning a division title. And how about the New Orleans Saints? Rookie of the Year, offense and defense. Alvin Kamara on offense, Marshawn Lattimore on defense.
And they get 10 yards there and convert on 3rd. The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. 1:58 to go in this first half of play. We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout. Back to the ground, this time with Freeman. Freeman a first down and more. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. That good for 19 and a first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Give him 30 yards there.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive it.
And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. Taylor Gabriel, a 14-yard touchdown. And the Falcons are an extra point away from moving out in front. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. CD, I want to get your thoughts on some potential free agents this offseason before we change the possession here. Now, caution, many of these guys could be re-signed, I know, but who are some of them? Kirk Cousins is one.
Yeah, we're talking about difference makers. Kirk Cousins at the quarterback position. He's going to be coveted around the league by quarterback-needy teams. Case Keenum had a big year. Could he move? But how about running backs? Le'Veon Bell, Dion Lewis, some pass catchers, Jimmy Graham, Jarvis Landry, Sammy Watkins. And about the guy who goes and gets quarterbacks, DeMarcus Lawrence had a monster year for Dallas last season.
Yeah, a lot of big names that could be out there as free agents. They go play action here on first down. It's caught by Treadwell. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it because he knows.
And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line. Brooks Reed in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. On third and long, it's Keenum. A bullet throw, but incomplete. Normally, I'd say this will lead to a punt attempt, but this offense already shown in the first half that they'll go for it on fourth down.
Oh, they should have already said, punt it, punt it. Head coach should have already made that decision.
And Quigley now on to punt as he sends this one away. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
And this is Gabriel on the catch. The 20, 10, touchdown, Falcons. Taylor Gabriel in the final seconds of the first half. And the Falcons are able to show off their quick strike ability.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. And you got to think, if this is anything other than just taking a knee, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, they've got enough to talk about at the half. Why do anything else? Just get out of there.
And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. Pretty move. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had an ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Now a play fake here on first down. Going left side, it's complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. That one goes for 24 yards. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Daniil Hunter in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. A fake to Freeman. Now it's Ryan. And they're able to get this one down to the 25. That one goes for 24 yards. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield, but when push came to shove, they stood their ground, and now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
Here's Ryan. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. And he'll be stopped shy of the 15 at the 14-yard line on the return. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. On first down, it's Keenum. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Brooks Reed in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon. On second down, here's Keenum. And Diggs has it. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a pass.
Looking for his tight end Rudolph, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. Well, Deion Jones and pick sixes, they're going together like peas and carrots. Oh, boy, he had 2 of those, though, as a rookie last year.
And I know part of the reason is his speed. He's one of the fastest linebackers that you're going to find in the NFL. But another part is he's not very tall. Sometimes he gets lost in coverage. When a quarterback's looking downfield, he just doesn't see him, and he ends up making big plays.
One of those pick sixes last year, 90-yard return against Drew Brees in his hometown of New Orleans. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. This is fielded at the goal line. Spins away, and he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. They begin the drive with a run by Murray. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. A big run that time by Murray. 53 yards on the ground. Shift together here from the D-line. They go back to Murray on first down. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple yards out of it. So those defenders, they were rallying to the...
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Stephon Diggs from 21 yards away. And the Vikings are able to close the gap just a bit. And this one's back to an 8-point game. Forbath out to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done. It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff.
And not much there at all. He's up only to about the 16-yard line. A gain of a yard gets them back where they started. Now it's 3rd and 10. The Falcons on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Now it's Ryan. Looking deep for Gabriel. It got his man complete. Past the 20. Touchdown, Falcons. Tanner Gabriel, 84 yards. And the Falcons will extend their lead.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. He's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up.
4 touchdown passes, carving them up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone. This is fielded at the goal line. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. And now out comes Minnesota. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Keenum now to throw. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. This is Murray. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
You and I both know that you don't really truly replace Adrian Peterson, but Latavius Murray's a really good back. Similar running styles, too. Won't wear the same number, we know that. But when you see him run, you might see a little bit of that in him, upright with some power.
Here comes the D swarming to the line. Throwing on first down is Keenum. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. So out come the Falcons now. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a
pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Danielle Hunter in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Falcons. They've got the football. They've got the lead as we get set to start the 4th. Off the play fake to Freeman. It's Ryan. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line. It's a sack. Sharif Floyd coming up the middle. Gets him there for a loss of about 9. Play action. Ryan. He's airing it out for Sanu. He's got a man complete. That goes for a gain of 31. Big hook up there. Forced to throw it on 3rd down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running up.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Danielle Hunter getting him once again. His 3rd sack of the afternoon. They go play action with Ryan. Now he's forced out right. Caught on the right side by Jones. And he takes this one all the way across.